in game 2 between Don't Ban Poppy and UTD coming out here soon. Just a quick update from game 1. Don't Ban Poppy taking game 1. Taking game 1 with a skillfully executed Jack of all trades comp, and the MVP vote from game 1 going to be going over to Sniff Narfney, Symphonian here on this Urgot. Big beefy boy. So congratulations to Symphonian.
Yeah, way to go, Symphony, and really showing your dominance on that Urgot, especially since it was so recently changed in patch 9.6. Can't wait to talk to you about it afterwards.
Oh, baby. Can't wait. And so, yeah, just going to be chilling out here, waiting for some spectator links on this pro draft before we go into game 2. And do we?
I like it.
Oh, hold on. Okay. So, going into game 2, what do you think needs to change about UTD's approach in order to even up the series and take it to a 1-1 to close the day out?
I think if they can't match that early game run from Guy Fieri, they should just remove the Ziggs from the table. If they can take away Guy Fieri's comfort in the mid lane, then they can put somebody else, like maybe Jaundice or Symphony in the mid lane, and somebody who doesn't roam as much, and maybe secure that early game for themselves. Going into the late game, I think they just need to confidently put out wards, and I keep using the word because we're in a music frat, orchestrate these fights before they take them.
Right, and I've just given the ready command, so hopefully we'll be getting into draft pretty quickly very soon. And UTD going to be on blue side for this game too, and Don't Ban Poppy going to be on this red side. That should also change the drafting strategies up a bit.
Especially now that UTD has access to all 3 bans, perhaps they'll use that last ban on Urgot.
Wait, I forget rule said. Is it they lose ban for both games, or they I don't know. They might lose bans for both games. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'd be brutal.
That'd be rough. Gotta get plays here on time, you know?
I don't think the Ezreal ban is necessary anymore with that massive nerf to Ezreal in the 9.6 patch. Losing both tier items means he has to go back to Blade of the Ruin King as his 3rd item, and honestly, I think that just makes him weaker than all the other crit ADCs at the moment.
It's true to a certain extent, but also I think Ezreal's a massive comfort pick for Fudgy Ditters. So what were the 3 bans they did last game? I forget. Did Ezreal Cyan? No, it wasn't Cyan.
No, it wasn't Cyan. And it was Ezreal on a blank ban because they lost one.
Oh yeah, it was Ezreal. Well, that was a Teemo ban.
Yeah. Oh, Morgana ban. No, that was later though. I'm not sure.
That's a good question. You see if I have the pick ban. Oh, I do have the pick ban tool. Actually, they banned Poppy and Ezreal.
Well, we launch right into it, and it looks like they do lose that ban still. That's a big cost.
Rough one, boys. But hey, Tito, very important ban in the PMLCS meta, and Don't Ban Poppy going back to their original strat again, currently focusing on Uncle Jemima's Alawi in the top lane, as by all accounts last game, taking his Alawi out of play seemed to be very effective in giving Symphonian the ability to play in that top lane and have tons of fun on that shotgun knees champion up there.
Yeah. And Don't Ban Poppy still electing to not ban Hero Mars and Nivea. That's impressive considering how well Hero Mar performed on it.
It's the first pick Urgot coming out from UTD, snatching it away from Symphonian, but the Yasuo picked up here by Don't Ban Poppy. Very interesting decision. I'm curious as to where that Yasuo could go, as I don't know off the top of my head who on that team plays it.
Yeah, that was what I'm scouring the leaderboards for right now that Rich has provided for us, and nobody seems to have brought it out from this team yet.
Oh, Yasuo Vi combo. Actually very scary because Vi gives that Yasuo a guaranteed ult, and with the massive and Vi has enough damage to augment that Yasuo to where the Yasuo doesn't necessarily have to play the fight perfectly and can just straight up ult him, and the damage from Vi combined with Yasuo's presence will be enough to close out that kill all by itself. That Anivia and Caitlyn going over to UTD again.
Yeah, definitely sticking to their comfort picks on UTD. And not changing much from their last round, even allowing Ziggs to go back over to Guy Fieri for that early game pressure.
I think it could be fine if they can build a similar comp to last game and play it the same way. They have that Urgot in the top lane now, very strong matchup for Uncle Jemima there, and likely whatever Don't Ban Poppy could pick against this. So I really think if UTD approaches it with the mindset they did last game, perhaps syncs everything up a little bit more and has a cleaner early game, I think you could likely see this game 2 going over to UTD.
I am 100% in agreement with you. As long as that early game doesn't slip away from them, it looks like UTD could have had that late game.
See the Nami and Morgana double support bans being prioritized by Don't Ban Poppy there in order to get their bot lane a decent matchup into this Caitlyn. It's definitely very important. And on the side of UTD, Misfortune and Thresh being banned away. Both bot lane centric bans, ensuring that both teams can't really play through their bot lanes as well as they perhaps would like to.
Absolutely. And taking away those huge playmaker and bottoms away from Wheels on the Bus, leaving him, if he really wants to play an Enchantress, to really just focus on that Lulu that he's been working on. I wonder if he'll pick it into this Alistar here.
And here, speaking of Alistar, one of the changes from game 1 is now Don't Ban Poppy with that teamfight centric Ziggs. Now they have a very effective and efficient go button here, not only just to let that Ziggs have at them and get this AoE in the fight, but also the massive synergy with the Yasuo ult and like the general fight taking synergy with the Vise. They're both looking to initiate fights as the aggressor and pick people off. And that Lulu coming out for a UTD here for Wheels on the Bus could actually prove instrumental in stuffing some of this engage from Don't Ban Poppy.
Yeah. And here we see Maya electing to go on this Kha'Zix pick, which I think is quite odd, seeing as their whole team has elected to choose for this team fight oriented style. But maybe he can snowball the game early.
Maybe he could. I think Kha'Zix is a little rough into Vi sometimes, but especially if Kha'Zix gets the drop on the Vi in a fight, it's very hard for the Vi to turn on him, as Kha'Zix can just ult himself to perhaps avoid getting targeted by all of Vi's spells at the same time and getting a combo unloaded on him, so to speak. And
Absolutely.
especially into the side of Don't Ban Poppy, the only real front line they have, unless this is going to be a Cinderhulk Aftershock Vi coming out, will be this Alistar. So this, and in addition to that, no real peel from Don't Ban Poppy besides Kai'Sa's self peel as well, and Yasuo being able to dash through minion waves. So this Kha'Zix could prove very instrumental in helping UTD secure an advantage going into this game too. Looking on the side of Don't Ban Poppy, actually, let's think about this Yasuo pick.
I think it's very ambitious to take the Yasuo pick here, going into Urgot. I think Urgot wins this matchup almost 90-10, but maybe Symphonia and whoever is playing this Yasuo top knows something about this matchup I don't know. And if the Yasuo can't get ahead, we all know that Yasuo can just run away with the game on his own.
So do you think it'd potentially be a role swap with Jaundice playing Yasuo?
Maybe.
You think maybe Jaundice has YOLO'd it and picked the high skill cap champion to flex some mechanics?
He showed us how incredible he was on Thresh. Like, I'll show everybody how incredible I am. Dude, no big deal.
I mean, definitely game 1, big struggle to close. See how that'd be tilting. Maybe he just wants to have some fun this game. This is, after all, a for-fun league.
That's a good point to make. And I appreciate that we get to see champions like Yasuo in this league and stuff like Ziggs that you wouldn't see in normal pro play. And I think that's what's so unique about the PMA. That's on its own.
I actually think it'll be the Jaundice Yasuo here, as Fudgy and Symphonian originally slotted as a support on this team, while Jaundice was the original slots for this team was going to be Guy Fieri top, Frontlash jungle, Jaundice mid, Fudgy Ditters AD carry, Symphonian support, just like they are arranged for the sake of stats in the champion select. So I definitely think you could. So Symphonian, no slouch at all on support, and you can definitely see that Kai'Sa Alistar going bot lane for Fudgy Daters and Symphonian, and giving Jaundice the opportunity to pick up this Yasuo here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it is.
Fun
Oh, just
fact
as
for
soon as I
everybody.
say that.
There it is. John is taking the Alistair lock-in.
Now
Just
I look
a
stupid.
fun fact for everybody. For all you teams out there that keep flexing all your picks against what you've originally locked in, making fantasy PMA LCS really difficult to play. But that's just a personal gripe.
Hey, at least I play jungle every week since week
Yeah.
2. That makes it easy. But little do you know, next week I'm playing support. Oh man, oops, leak strats. You heard it
You
here.
definitely would not let
I mean,
somebody else
yeah,
jungle into me.
yeah,
No way.
you didn't hear it. Yeah, you didn't hear it here. But what do you
Okay.
mean? What do you mean, dude? No. It's genius. Just wait.
Yeah. Looking at these champion picks here, I do want to bring up the fact that I think this would have been a perfect game for Maya to play that Kindred. With maybe he chose the Kazakhs because he didn't want to sling shots into Yasuo's wind wall, and maybe he can use Kazakhs to get past that wind wall. But I think a Sejuani pick or Kindred pick would have been absolutely perfect here on his
Yeah.
half.
I think a Kindred absolutely could have worked. As long as he played backline, a Kindred pick here could have absolutely worked. And as soon as that Vi Alistar trying to dive onto the backline takes effect, he could have easily popped the Kindred ult, and that would have allowed them to perhaps sustain through the fight. But the dangerous part about that is having people clump up in the ult to survive. Means it's going to be free damage for Guy on Ziggs once the ult drops, and could easily be a team wipe.
That's a very good point. And you were bringing up that point about front lines. In PMA LCS, I'm starting to see that a lot of teams are electing to go for these soft frontline champions. Soft frontliners just such as like Jax, Xin Zhao, or Olaf, because the multiple damage sources seem to have a lot more impact in this patch than you do like a fat frontline like Sejuani, who can't really output that much damage, but just instead bring a lot of CC to the fight.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think one of the factors is people are moving towards these multi-damage comps just because it's very tough to find. It's very tough to find people who are just going to play tanks. And in addition to that, while the people who are most likely going to be able to be thrown on a tank and make it work are going to be your people who have high game knowledge, your people who have people who have experience playing all the different areas of the game, as that would be the point of slotting them into stuff like that. But at the same time, those are likely to be, your power players, the team anchors, so to speak, and you want them on something where they can gather an advantage in the early game and transition it into the late game, or at least have enough autonomy to make plays when it counts.
Expertly said. And therein lies the crux of having such spread across ELOs and skill levels in such a tournament. But that's also what makes this so unique and so much fun to be part of.
Oh, it's a spicy day, and the best part about it is you never know who's going to pop off and who's going to, unpop off, I guess.
Yeah.
It
Honestly,
would be,
I
we
was
should
gonna
be
say
popping on.
popping on. Nice.
Popping on.
Honestly, I was gonna say that's what's so great about PMAOs. Yes, regardless of the fact that there's such a disparity in skill level across all the teams, the fact that people are getting this opportunity to play in this 5v5 constructed format means that that skill disparity is actually reduced because you're all just communicating and getting time to play together. And honestly, it allows some of these lower skill players to learn from the higher skill players and then shorten that gap by the time the season comes to a close. And I think that all in all, just building together is a great thing for Brotherhood.
Hey, Brotherhood's the name of the game. We band of brothers.
Yeah.
Ooh, go PMA! Yeah!
Yeah, and the name of Brotherhood is a quick plug-in. If anybody's going through anything as we go through these midterm times, as a registered person to be able to help people through stuff, definitely reach out to your fellow brother or somebody you can talk, or if you just don't want anybody to know, no questions asked, you can reach out to myself, Legends MK, either online or through Facebook, and I will definitely sit there and just listen, no questions asked.
Oh, that's a great that's a great opportunity, man. It's actually so
Yeah.
wholesome.
Jumping back into League of Legends here, what do you think about? I know I'm the color caster, but what do you think about these team comps?
Let me see. Me DBP, me SM Orc, me run you down. I want to see it happen. I want to see DBP. This is like a DBP like comp in a nutshell. They're just looking to run at people. It's great. I love it. I
I
want to see
love
some
it.
blood this game. We had like a
Yeah.
70 kill game last game. There's so much action, and it's only going to get worse this time around. Or should I say better?
Nice. Yeah, Don't Be a Poppy definitely bringing a forward, very forward team comp with just their team going in one direction, just trying to push and push and push with very little disengage on their own.
On and ever upward, brother.
Yeah, yeah, higher, faster, further too. But we have UTD having this more come at all angles kind of team comp coming in. It'll be interesting to see how these team fights play out. More on so, as a huge Kha'Zix player myself, I'm excited to see what Maya brings, and I'm actually incredibly jealous as I see that Maya has whipped out this champion Kha'Zix skin, which I personally do not have.
Spicy, dude. I can't wait for the championship Kha'Zix.
Pause at 10.
You're pausing at 10. Alright. Who's counting down?
You can.
Okay. Getting into this game here. I'll ask the same question I asked last game. Level 1 shenanigans, question mark?
There definitely should not be any level 1 shenanigans side of Uno Chirocco Demonicos. But with the Alistair on the side of Don't Ban Poppy, they could look for some level 1s. However, if they do Frontlash, will have to sacrifice one of his early jungling W in exchange for a Q. So we'll see how they choose to play this. Both teams look like they're going to set up for the 5-point defense, though.
How about that flash pole vault breaker combo, man? That's what I'm talking about.
I couldn't see how they could fail, really.
Yeah, vault breaker, I hardly know her, dude. Meanwhile, UTD just chilling out in this mid lane. Your Freedom Penguin, we back, and Guy Fieri expertly placed bouncing bomb. Freedom Penguin forced to back off here as he's taken so much damage and a vital affront, honestly, to his his outer shell. Feels bad, dude.
Yeah. Quick shout out to our streamer Joystick for having that incredible zoom out function, able to see all 10 members of the on the map at the time and seeing the whole map. That is a really cool application.
This stream and cast also sponsored by Vitamilk. We have no joke this time. Just drink Vitamilk. That's it. That's the plug. Have a good day.
Alright, here we see Don't Ban Poppy electing to go for a blue side start, which should signify that Vi just wants to do a full clear, because if she does choose to go into that early game fight versus Kha'Zix, Kha'Zix will have that red buff, which essentially replaces a third skill point early on.
I mean, it's in the name, bro. Vi is V and I, that's the Roman numeral 6. You just find the 6. It's that easy.
Wow, how could I not see that one?
I don't know,
Actually,
dude.
Fun fact, she has that Demon Vi skin because of 666. I love it.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, actually.
Why is it 666 though? Would
Because
that
it's
make your
Vi,
demon
Vi,
Vi?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
It's amazing.
I was about to say, why don't they call her demon Vi? And wait, that's the joke.
And we see the early shove in power from Caitlyn as to be expected from this champion. This is how the lane should go for the first 2 levels.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just realized something there. If you go Vi, Miss American Vi, that's 3 Vi's. We did it. Meanwhile, though, Frontlash taking down the scuttle in the top side jungle. Gonna go over here. Pop that scrying plant. Maya's chilling in his blue buff over here. Frontlash saying hi by proxy.
I want to bring attention to this bottom lane and what Wheels on the Bus is doing right now as this level 2 Enchantress. So a lot of support players may or may not know this, but just standing at the back line of your opponent's minions gives you so much presence. You don't even have to hit those skill shots. You can just zone them off, especially if they have a melee support, just by standing back there.
Dude, let me tell you, as a person who dreads the fear of death coming on him at any second, existence is terrifying, dog. Like, just existing, that's so scary.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, in this mid, though, we got the wave clear war going on. Guy Fieri and Hiramar farming it up in this bad boy, trading poke, trading damage. It's a great time all around. Uncle Jemima just pushed a wave on Symphonian in the top lane here. Maye already up to level 4, going to be taking... nope, let's go farm some Raptors real quick. And looks like junglers have both elected for some highly similar pathing here.
Sort of. If you look at the way Front Lash path, he took his entire blue side jungle first and then went to his red side jungle. So he actually has a path advantage. He has a 15-second advantage on Maye, allowing him to choose either the gank or reset ahead of Maye. Because Maye decided to do his red, Krug, Scuttle, and then go to his top side and then come back for Raptors, he's actually sacrificed a huge amount of time, preventing him from even looking for a gank. And it's these little things that differentiate you from as a jungler.
Oh, in top lane, Symphony gets some trading in on Uncle Jemima. We're just going to pop the Purge shield. Just going to pop the shield into Disdain and be completely safe here. Symphonian taking some massive damage from that wave and from the poke. But meanwhile, Front Lash going in for a gank on Hiramar. Vault Breaker goes wide, and so does Hiramar's stun. I'm just going to walk away and reset.
And just to go further into that jungle discussion, as a jungler myself, not trying to sound like a know-it-all, but because Maye decided to make that path where he went to Krugs first and then finish Raptors later, now after he resets, he can just go to his Krugs, but after his Krugs, he has to look for a gank bottom, otherwise sacrifice even more time going back to his topside jungle. Whereas if you path to the Raptors before you went to the topside jungle, you would get this Raptors and Krugs spawn time at the same time, giving you a more efficient clear in the end.
That's definitely true, and half the battle of being an efficiency jungler is that it's very hard to... Maye popping in bot lane as soon as I'm saying that, just going in for a look-see. You can be spotted out by a ward and they can back off. Maye warding over, going straight in on Front Lash. Front Lash can be forced to Vault Breaker out. Maye getting on the escape over here. Jaundice is hovering around Maye, pulverizing him up. Wheels on the bus here to answer. Jaundice gonna take some damage to walk out. Polymorph coming in for Wheels on the bus. Jaundice gonna be brought down to about 3rd HP, and Front Lash backing in this bush over here. But as I was saying earlier, one of the things about being an efficiency... Oh, hold on. Hiramar taking some fat damage in the mid lane. Super Mega Inferno bombing thrown by Guy Fieri. That's going to drop Hiramar's passive. As I was saying earlier, though, one of the downsides of being an efficiency-minded jungler is that, you know, your ganking is controlled by like how your jungle camps are set up. So if you path weirdly or you path wrong, you don't want to be giving up, you know, camp efficiency in order to force ganks very often.
Absolutely, and that's what we see as Maye had to walk around in the bot side river for a little bit before finally his red spawning up. But now he's forced to go to his top side jungle as his bot lane gets...
Meanwhile, bot lane, Freedom Penguin Dorado extremely low by Jaundice comboing in. And Freedom Penguin was forced to pop, flash, and heal. Jaundice and Fudgy Ditters looking for some more trading. Wheels on the bus. Gonna walk out. Fudgy Ditters sitting at about 3rd right now. And both bot lanes are gonna disengage. Meanwhile, looking in the bot lane, Front Lash showing over here. About to start up this Ocean Drake down here. And as far as I know, nobody has any idea right now. Maye sitting top lane, farming this Gromp over here. And then top lane, Symphonian with the wave advantage over Uncle Jemima right now.
Absolutely, and that is a result of their jungle path. Maye having to go top to clear out his jungle, leaving him nothing to take, while Front Lash did start at his bottom side, so it reset, and he can just go from Wolves to Krugs to Dragon. And I think something I want to point out on the side of Don't Ban Poppy is that all the other teams in the PMA LCS have elected to use their quote-unquote strongest players in the carry positions, but Don't Ban Poppy, and maybe I'm giving Jaundice too much credit here, or maybe I'm not, but I think he's their strongest player, and they choose to put him in this playmaking support position, and he is showing what he can do as a support player, giving all other support players a breath of life.
Without a question, when they put him on these playmakers, these engaged supports, he's showing up big time, and he's starting fights when they matter in the way they should be started.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, looking topside here, Maye chilling in this bush. Looking topside, but there's nothing to be found. He's going to go and farm his buff. And it's amazing how similar these jungles are in their pathing in general right now. I think both of them had elected for highly efficient pathing. this game, and it definitely shows because they really haven't been able to find that many gank opportunities, and they've been near each other a decent amount of times, and even said hello once down on that bot side. You know, in top lane though, Uncle Jemima going in on Symphonian. It's gonna be some trade damage. Symphonian dashing out though. It's gonna be fine, but flash ball breaker from front lash. Uncle Jemima brought extremely well flashed out, but that's gonna be the assault battery from front lash. Kill goes over to Symphonian. It's gonna be first blood for Don't Ban Poppy. Meanwhile, in bot lane, John is going in on wheels on the bus though. It's gonna be quick polymorph on Fudgy Daters, but the Void Rush from Fudgy Daters, kill secured from Fudgy. That's gonna be a quick 2-0 on multiple sides of the map for Don't Ban Poppy. It's gonna be Fiero's Super Mega Inferno. Actually, it's just a normal Mega Inferno bomb. Goes slightly wide.
And what a disrespect coming out of Uncle Jummer. Maybe just not recognizing the danger that he's in. That now the front lash hitting 6 at the 9-minute mark, as most junglers will hit. So not recognizing that means he will get ganked because he's facing that Yasuo with that auto setup.
You know, top lane, great ult from Uncle Jemima on the Symphonian. He's gonna tag, bag, and rack him into his grinder here. Man.
Just need to remind you, Riot made that rank 1 ultimate from Urgot the same distance as Nocturne's ultimate. Woo! Good times, good times.
It sounds like looks like someone didn't read patch notes.
God dang. I hate that champion right now.
Dude, it's a great time. What do you mean? At least this is more funny. This is way more fun as a spectator champion than Older God was. I'll give it that.
That's true.
I think it's way more fun to play than Older. I think it's more fun to play as than Older God. Like, I think it's the same level of annoyance as Older God was, as well as old Newer God was, honestly. Because like both of them were just kind of atrocious to play against, especially if they get noticeable advantages. So. And front lash pathing up here, top side again. Could we see a return gang onto the flashless Uncle Jemima Symphonian? Turning with Uncle Jemima, gets that disdain popped. Front lash walking over that ward. He's been spotted, but Uncle Jemima is in a position to run. Looks he's not. Ball breaker being charged, going in. Ball breaker connects. It's gonna be the last whisper dropped, and Symphonian gets the kill. Sorry, I apologize. This is last breath, not last whisper. But Symphonian with a quick kill from a return gank from front lash onto Uncle Jemima. That jungle pressure topside proving very key right now and getting this Yasuo ahead in this matchup.
Yeah, and what a simple to execute gank. And I love that they're taking advantage of that with the Vault Breaker into the Yasuo last breath. Like it's almost so obvious, like you don't think they'd go for it repeatedly. Maybe Uncle Jemima can recognize this and start to play out towards his own turret, recognizing the danger he's constantly in every time Yasuo's last breath comes up.
Speaking of last breath, I just realized, because you get passive armor pen after you use it, and the item that gives armor penetration in this game is Last Whisper, right? So what do you gotta do before you make your Last Whisper? You gotta take your last breath.
That's good.
Wait, hold on. Wheels on the bus going very far forward, but that's a gank initiation. Maye going in on Fudgy Ditters. Fourth pop heal, extremely low. Good Void Rush out. That's the damage coming in. Maye with the jump over, and he's going to escape the last third shot. Wheels on the bus as he stepped too far forward. Jaundice ignites and gets the return kill. Slamming Freedom Penguin up, though, and they're just going to be meleeing each other. Jaundice realizing he's got the bad end of this trade, and he's going to walk out safe, though. Guy Fieri dropping that Mega Inferno bomb somewhere. Oh, he's here to contest this blue buff. Maye, get me the hell out of here. Oh, he's running.
Yeah, we don't see Guy Fieri roaming as much this game with Frontlash as he did last game, but perhaps it's just not necessary with how Vi can just set up Yasuo on her own. So while we have this lull in time, I want to bring up the fact that neither jungler has elected to take the sweeper yet, meaning all of their ganks are precipitated by dropping either a red ward or just walking through wards, as we've seen.
Big Guy Fieri getting stunned up by Hiromar, some quick chip damage being dealt to him. But for the most part, he's going to be escaped. And one thing that I want to point out is put tons of action in this top side. You have 1 plating on the side of Uncle Jemima and 3 on the side of Symphonian. Compare that to all other lanes, which are chilling on 5 for the side of UTD and 4 for the side of Don't Ban Poppy right now.
Absolutely. We see that even with those 2 deaths on Symphonian, Uncle Jemima still commandingly dominates his lane in terms of isolated trades. So as long as he sees Vi on the map or knows where she is, he can continue to take these plates on his own.
Yeah, one of the roles that we were focused on coming into the match was going to be that jungle matchup, as it's 2 very, very top-tier junglers. Some interesting pathing choices that really help them to push some effectiveness in the match, as Sinfonia and Uncle Jemima having some trading action in the top lane. Meanwhile, Guy Fieri looks to be caught out Dragon Pit. Great wall from Hiramar. It's going to be the Sun Icicle combo. Hiramar going to kill the Guy Fieri. Jaundice, though, at the Outstar initiation, going to go in. Freedom Penguin drop extremely low. Kill going over to Fudgy Ditters, though. Front lash on the re-engage. Assault battery is on wheel on the bus. That's going to be kill going to front lash. Maie taking down Melee, slapped. He got the horns, man! Hiramar running out. What can he do? Fudgy Ditters dropping the damage. Front lash starting up the Drake. Jaundice headbutting the egg away from him. They slapping that egg. Fudgy Ditters and Jaundice chilling over here. Hiramar CC'd up as soon as he comes out, but that's going to be the stopwatch pop from Hiramar. Stun combo trading on. Fudgy Ditters brought extremely low, but it's going to be Jaundice going down to Hiramar and Fudgy Ditters getting a return kill. But meanwhile, as that was all going down, Front Lash finally securing that Infernal Drake for Don't Ban Poppy.
Yeah, so something that, I mean, we all saw how that fight went down, so I want to talk about something that's more interesting. The fact that Vi got that buff at 9.5 to her passive means that she can take down Dragon with taking a maximum of 34 damage. One hit, she can have that shield uptime the entire 100% during all of Dragon fighting. And I think that's absurd.
I think it's great. What? You're telling me you don't have trauma? You don't, as if you didn't have enough trauma from Urgot's Purge being up infinitely. Now you have Vi's Blast Shield up infinitely. But, I mean, at the very least, you got to pop abilities to proc the thing, though, so I guess it's not infinite.
Yeah, but on neutral objectives it is, which is kind of ridiculous.
Oh, that's disgusting. Who thought of that?
Yeah.
Oh, probably the same guy who thought of Urgot's mobile turret purge, though, but, you know.
Yeah.
This is 2019, dude. We need some variety, and Riot Games is definitely delivering.
But I will take this over watching Lee Sin and Elise 100% pick in the jungle every game. So I'd rather watch this anyway.
Is this season 3? League of Cleavers?
God.
Oh god, that was awful. Oh, season 3 mains remembered, dude. That was awful. Meanwhile, in mid lane here, Mar. Interesting interaction going down here. Guy Fieri taking Icicle to the face, being dropped to about third. Front lash though, looking for the gank. Vault Breaker misses. Go back off.
And we're seeing this Korean build coming out of the Fudgy Ditters with that Storm Razor first item on Kaisa. Not usually done in the Americas, but Korea did popularize it in this 9.5 patch.
Fieri with a great wall. It's gonna be a quick kill going over to here, Mar. Meanwhile, this Rift Arrow being soloed by duo by Symphony and Front Lash, but wait, here comes the contest from UTD. Uncle Jemima going in. Disdain, Slam, Front Lash being dropped low. Saw on battery from Front Lash. Straight in, but Hiramar, kill going over to Hiramar though. Symphonian stuck in the Glacial Storm. What can he do? Brought extremely low. Uncle Jemima flashing out for safety. Hiramar gets the shutdown on Symphony. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Jaundice and Fudgy Ditters contesting this ward over here. Bills on the bus, Freedom Penguin, what can they do? Jaundice getting autoed down by Freedom Penguin, but they got that. They got the pink. Hell yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. With all this gold sitting on Don't Ban Poppy's bottom lane, I think UTD's bottom lane just has to take a breath and just try to farm back into it to keep up an item power spikes. Now that Kaisa has put together a full item, they just can't, or UTD can't match up anymore in these 2v2 trades.
Yeah, I guess I'm the ADK man here. Maybe we should discuss the Storm Razor build. So, ironically, 5 AD and 5% attack speed was really all the Storm Razor needed to become viable again on the niche of champions that was good on already. And nice part about Storm Razor, though, is you get those energized attacks, and with Kaisa moving over to that more... Wait, Symphonian getting caught up in this bush cheese. And it's going to be a quick kill going over to Maie. Front Lash forced to run away. It's going to be the return on to Maie for Front Lash. But Maie, great kiting in and out. Uncle Jemima finalizing the kill onto Front Lash.
Yeah, really abusing that bush advantage with his Void Assault uses to make sure Front Lash could never land a connected combo on him.
Which quick Kha'Zix tips and tricks, you might not realize just how much of a damage boost that Camouflage ultimate gives you, but considering the fact that your passive has reasonably good attack damage scaling and also good base damage, you can get an extra like 300 to 500 damage out of some fights just by utilizing your passive just by utilizing your Camouflage to weave in and out, to weave your autos in and out of fights.
Absolutely, and doubling on that damage from the Dustblade buffs. Or Dustblade advantage. My god, he just probably kept keeps up like some 700 damage coming in and out of shadows.
Kind of disgusting, actually.
Mhm.
Actually disgusting. Well, the Maye going on to Guy Fieri. Has he found it? Guy Fieri, quick flash over the
man.
wall. Maye giving chase, though. It's going to be the turn. Double ults pop. Kill going over to Guy Fieri. Good turn try front lash there.
And there we see a little bit of solo Qism coming out of Maye as he flashes deep
Whoa,
into
flash
the blind
engage
jungle.
from Jaundice. Wheels on the boss and Freedom Penguin forced to flash out immediately. Sweet turret dive coming out. Wheels on the boss ignited, brought stream low Jaundice. Great job, Unbreakable Will, taking all this turret. Front lash blocks over Trap. Kill goes over to Fudgy Ditters on Wheels on the bus during that engage, though. Meanwhile, the Freedom Penguin still stuck under this turret. Front lash and Jaundice maybe looking for the return dive, but they see Hiramar. What can Jaundice do here? He's stuck between a rock and a hard place. And Hiramar getting the ignite and the kill on Jaundice. Front lash missing the vault breaker, but now they're caught in a lot of trouble here. Front lash getting CC'd up and stunned by Hiramar. Quick kill by Hiramar here. Now Fudgy Ditters in a bit of a tough spot, getting autoed by Caitlyn, running away. Is he going to be safe? He is going to make it to that turret, safe and sound.
Yeah, even after his stellar performance last game on Zenivia, I'm surprised to see Hiramar on his main champion again, displaying the same dominance on Anivia.
This is actually insane. Like, so I can give most of the teams in this draft really good advice for playing against UTD in these coming games. It starts with Van and it ends with Anivia. I don't know. You can use that as you will, but I think that'd be some good advice going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. Yeah, Symphonian invading for this blue buff though. True Alpha Yasuo. It's a knockup on Uncle Jemima too. Meanwhile, Front Lash forced to pop Rift Herald in his jungle. And this game around, we're seeing a much more even game at 20 minutes. And UTD was honestly so far behind that it took Don't Ban Poppy kind of overstaying their welcome in that bottom lane with that Baron. It took Freedom Penguin stealing that Baron buff last game, and then Don't Ban Poppy's overstay in the bottom lane in order to give UTD any way. This game, you're seeing both teams fighting neck and neck here, with the gold differential only being 1.3, with being only around 1,300.
Yeah, they're really getting a lot closer this time around for sure. While we have this law, I want to take a look at Yasuo's item choice here. A lot of electing to go with this old school Phantom Dancer build with Shiv's attack speed actually going. Oh,
the Freedom Penguin getting caught out in the bot side here. Fudgy Ditters getting a quick kill.
Alright, I'm going to go back to talking about the Phantom Dancer. With its attack speed nerfed below Shiv's attack speed, it's interesting to see that Yasuo has elected to go for this Phantom Dancer anyway.
Front Lash finding Maye's own jungle. Thought battery being dropped. Symphonian with the last breath. I said it right this time. Kill going over Symphonian. Am I sensing deja vu on the side of Maye over here?
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Kha'Zix can slow down a bit, maybe take a few breaths and get back into this game to make sure he doesn't keep jumping into these fights unnecessarily.
I will say though, even though Maye's died, definitely died two, shall we say, unnecessary deaths this game, this aggressiveness is turning up a bit with that noticeable farm advantage over Front Lash and a good gold advantage too. And Front Lash isn't anywhere close to completing his Trinity yet, but Maye has been sitting on Duskblade for the past 2 minutes.
Absolutely. And something to think about as Front Lash is choosing to go the Trinity Force Warriors build, he's going to be a squishy, really soft front line as we transition to mid to late game, leaving Alistar to be their only front line.
So going forth into these extended sieges and just general fights into the late game, how do you think Don't Ban Poppy can play around this 6-1 Anivia here that's going to be a massive thorn on their side?
Well, they're definitely not going to win in a 5-man siege. I think they should put Yasuo in a silent because he can definitely take on Urgot now in this 1v1 with his 2-item power spike. And then if they have to send somebody to go answer Yasuo, maybe then they can push through the Anivia. Also, their advantage is to catch a pick going in the jungle. So if they just keep 10 pink wards on them, they can set up a pick around any kind of objective they want, and then from there win the fight.
And I also think one of the key advantages going forward into the siege is that Ziggs has way better poke than Anivia does. Wait, Maye over here getting caught up in the jungle, jumping out, solid battery going down. To be Front Lash with the solo kill on the Maye. Actually, Fudgy doing some living damage, but here they are. Massive fight breaking out. Kill going over to Fudgy Days, massive engage from Jaundice over here. Hiramar popping his egg over here. And Freedom Penguin running with his life. That's going to be a shutdown on Hiramar going over to Fudgy Ditters. He's now sitting at 7-1-3 on this Kaisa. Absolutely massive right now with the Storm Razor Rage Blade.
Yeah, and that's a big advantage for the Korean build where he's going that Storm Razor Rage Blade. At level 13, it actually triggers both of your upgrades.
She's actually so good.
Yeah.
There's also the recent build where you just do double pick. You do BF Sword double pickaxe for the quickest Icathian rain, basically humanly possible. That one's spicy. Then you transition the BF Sword in the one pickaxe into the Infinity Edge, and then the second pickaxe will build into the Quincy's Rage Blade second item, and so that's part of the power there. And that the Infinity Edge Rage Blade still good. As a matter of fact, you can just go that straight up without even doing the double pickaxe strat. Meanwhile, Maya's found Symphonian in the jungle there, and that's gonna be a quick kill going over to Maya with Wheels on the Bus there with the assist.
That's good on Maya. Making these power plays that he makes as this Kha'Zix jungle keeps him relevant as they go into this mid game, allowing him to maybe get into that backline and snipe off one of these kills. Not to mention, as Frontlash has elected to build this damage style, Maya can still just pick him off in a 3-hit combo here before the fight even begins.
And meanwhile, though, Frontlash found Maya on the side. That's going to be a kill going to Frontlash, but UTD's there for the return play, and Frontlash taken down by Hiramar with a 4-man assist on that play.
I think that's really rough as we see Frontlash continue to win these 1v1 trades. Yeah, as we see Frontlash continue to win these trades, he's going to keep falling off as the game gets later and later, and at best he's going to be able to trade himself for one other player on the opposing team.
The teleport coming in from Symphonian, though. Quick engage by Jaundice over here. Going forward, stunning this Anivia. Blue popped, and tons of people being stunned. Hiramar, good wall from Hiramar. Fudgy Ditter's going deep into the back line. Good stopwatch from Hiramar. It's actually Zanya's. Jaundice stepping on a trapping. Taken down by Freedom Penguin here. And Uncle Jemima finalizing the kill on the Fudgy Ditters. Guy Fieri forced to run away, doing his best he can to get out. He's going to be pretty safe. Meanwhile, though, all players on the side of UTD definitely very low over here. And Guy Fieri sees them on the ward. We're going to let him back.
That was expertly played by Guy Fieri at the back end of that fight. As he kited away from 4 members of the team, he got over 4,000 damage on those players, spread between them all, setting up for a possible ult kill at the end. Kudos to Guy Fieri there.
Definitely. And one thing that's very interesting as this Dragon Speed started up and Uncle Jemima's Fear Beyond Death flies through the Dragon Pit like a bat out of hell is... Actually, no, I read Anivia's build, Zig's build. Never mind, there's nothing interesting. It's admittedly Andrew's secondary item, which I may or may not agree with.
Oh, yeah.
There's not really that many... There's not really that much of a front line on the side of... UTD here, and John Symphony and Frontlash just saying hi. Hiramara walling in the Dragon Pit and backing. He just found W though. Jaundice going in, Unbreakable Will. Symphony with the last breath. That's going to be Maye melting immediately, kill going into Frontlash as Guy Fieri finalizes the kill on Hiramar. Freedom Penguin also dropped extremely looking forced to run out. Here comes Frontlash on the back line. Fudgy Ditters cleaning up Freedom Penguin on the retreat. Uncle Jemima flashing forward, killing Frontlash on the backside. Here comes Jaundice and Fudgy Ditters. Clean up this Urgot, except here comes Permanent Turret. Fun, exciting gameplay as he just gets Jaundice down from the side. Meanwhile here, Uncle Jemima doing as best he can to run from Guy Fieri as Guy Fieri and Symphonian siege down this mid-wave. FP 4 dead on the side of UTD here. While these three high impact damage dealers on the side of Don't Ban Poppy take down this inhibitor.
Yeah, it seems like a giant miscommunication coming out from the side of UTD as 2 of their members were stuck in that Dragon Pit, trying to buy time even with that wall.
Yeah, that was a good meme. I'd be laughing about that in game. Like, I don't care if I lose. Like, that's funny.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let that happen to me. Let that happen to me tomorrow, but just let it be your team and not mine. Then it's even funnier.
And as we were discussing earlier, yes, I definitely do not agree with this Leandri's build onto the Ziggs. I think he's just taking that item as a comfort
back in a precarious position. Maye finalizing a kill.
Dropping kills by backing in vision. Classic.
Classic, dude, I love it. Yeah, the one advantage Leandres gives, though, is the fact that even though that damage is key for tank busting, there really isn't that... It's a good poke item in general. So we'll have to see if Guy Fieri can utilize that Leandres to poke them down here, but I'm not sure. I'd prefer something like a Seraph's or a Death Cap here, perhaps. Actually, not a Seraph's,
Yeah.
because it's Ludens. Probably Death Cap.
Yeah, Death Cap. I mean, for 3,200 gold for that Leandres, for 400 gold you can get a much slot when there's no tank on the opposing team. I think that just takes some theory crafting in the end to recognize.
Definitely. I don't think. Yeah, I think the Leandres is less bad than it looks, though. It's because it does deal that extra bleed damage on poke, so it's pretty. You can still make it work. It's still Ziggs, and it's not like that's a bad item choice.
But looking at item choices here, Kaisa is about to get to her 5th item, while Caitlyn is about to hit that massive 3-item spike. Once she does, these team fights for UTD might finally look in their favor, as the gold gap is only a meager 2k difference.
UTD, though, probably having less of a front line this game in general, but Uncle Jemima big and beefy on that Urgot already with that Cleaver Mallet Thornmail, and maximum damage on the side of Fudgy Ditters here with that static shift there. It looks like they're going for the blade fourth with some nice sustain.
Absolutely, and with Lulu turning Urgot into even a thicker front line, I definitely could see full 5.
Maya going in on Symphonian bot lane. Symphonian take a couple turret shots. Walk. Meanwhile, Don't Ban Poppy has gone onto the Baron over here, and with that Kaisa damage, it's going to melt extremely fast. What can UTD here to stifle this Baron power play? And it's going to be a 4v5 breaking out here. Front Lash going in for the turn. It's going to be blown up immediately. Uncle Jemima with the kill. Maye looking on Fudgy Ditters. Shut down, going over to Freedom Penguin. This is going to be a huge shutdown. Guy Fieri and Jaundice, though, forced to run for their life in the UTD's own jungle. Jaundice, good headbutt back on Uncle Jemima. Yermar and Freedom Penguin extremely low as a result of the Ziggs poke. Be forced to back off, and Uncle Jemima brought extremely low. Jaundice, though, still looking to stop the backs over here. And as Symphonian pushes bot, Maye looking for the kill on Symphonian with the assist from Wheels on the bus. Uncle Jemima has finally found Jaundice. Symphonian, massive damage dealt the Wheels on the bus. And Maye also going to drop Symphonian in that fight.
Wow.
Shut down.
Watching as these mechanical outplays happen from each player is always stunning. Since we know what happened in that fight, I just want to bring up the fun fact. With 30% CDR on Vi, you can actually do Baron without taking any damage from Baron. Great job, Riot.
I love it. It's pretty good.
Yep.
Well, I want to see that come out. Actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
This is a Baron solo, dude. That's a massive power move.
Takes forever, but yeah. It's pretty disgusting to see.
Meanwhile, though, as we go into this late game, what do you think Don't Ban Poppy is going to be looking here for to close out this game?
Well, without as much tower siege potential short of Ziggs this time, and with Ziggs not having as much gold, I think they actually have to look for a 1-3-1 or a 1-4 to find that pick with wards between their 1 and 4 so that they can collapse on whoever UTD decide to go onto, especially to track Maya in this jungle, not giving Maya access to isolation damage.
Maye getting caught out, though. Good knockup pull from Jaundice. Massive damage coming in, but Maye saved by Wheels on the bus with a terrific wild growth. TP teleport coming in from Uncle Jemima here. Can we see the re-engage? Fudgy Jitters and Jaundice going to do their best to run away here. And that is I was about to say, UTD kind of suffering from a slight lack of frontline, but with that big beefy Urgot and the Lulu ult to cover that initiation on the side of Don't Ban Poppy, at this point, it's really going to take, some good damage. It's really going to take some good deeps, some split pushing from Symphonian, or, a massive Guy Fieri power play in team fights in order to finalize these kills for Don't Ban Poppy.
Absolutely, and Maya electing to take that death down, followed by that Ninja Tabi, gives him a little bit of survivability for Lulu to reach him.
That 4-1 you were talking about, Symphonian finalizing the kill onto the inhibitor in the bot lane, as UTD caught unawares and having trouble responding to this cross-map pressure.
It's actually a really good heads-up play if you look back a little bit, Symphony, as soon as he saw that Front Lash was going to die in that fight, he just walked from mid to bottom to catch that wave and secure that inhibitor. Very good heads-up play by Symphonian.
Well, good ult damage coming out of Guy Fieri here. Engaged stuffed by Hiramar's wall though. Very nicely done. Guy Fieri throwing all his poke in the corridor, unloading the kitchen sink onto UTD, and they're going to be forced to walk out.
Oh, I think that was UTD's opportunity. UTD wants to fight in a corner like this where Nivea can get infinite damage down onto the enemy team. And if they're stuck in this little corridor, that gives Maie freedom to walk around the team and pick off their carries.
Speaking of picking off, Guy Fieri caught by Hiramar's wall, and this will be a quick kill finalized on the Guy Fieri by Hiramar. Meanwhile, though, Maie waiting in the wings. John does the quick outstar combo. Fudgy Ditters with the Void Rush. Everyone flashing after Maie, but he's going to escape because he's Cossack. Meanwhile, though, Uncle Jermaine with the re-engage. Throwing Jonas in the team fight. And Front Lash saw battery on Maie, bringing him extremely low. Kill goes over to Front Lash. Jonas stuck in this front line here. Kill going over to Freedom Penguin, though. Uncle Jemima brings Fudgy Ditters and puts him into the grinder. Hiramar forced to go stopwatch. Symphonian looking for the 1v3, but he can't find it. That's going to be a 5. It's going to be a 2 for 5 in favor of UTD here.
That is absolutely the fight that UTD is looking for. In those jungles outside of open spaces so that they can't get away from Hiramar's Blizzard Storm. Fun fact, with 40% CDR, Urgot can also do Baron without taking damage. I fucking hate this champion. So,
wait, this is insane!
Yeah.
Wait,
he's not even crowd walking around Baron to get all the knees off, but just imagine if he was.
Wait, Guy Fieri, you don't want to Baron against the Ziggs though. That's an easy steal, but they have spotted him out on the ward. Wait, he actually just blew up so much damage. He's gonna pay the price for it, but did he actually just how low is that Baron?
I think we gotta slap Uncle Jemima on the wrist for that one. For not taking all advantage of his shotgun knees on the Baron, he actually sacrificed so much damage, giving Guy Fieri the opportunity to steal that. But good heads up play by Guy Fieri to take that teleport and acknowledge that he can finish it off with the ult.
It is true. One thing to point out though is that Baron doing thick damage if you kite to the rear of it, but Uncle Jemima, he's a beefy boy, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, and Urgot can still take 0% damage with 4% CDR, even going behind it.
Dude, that's nuts.
I hate that champion.
That's a good champ, dude. It's a great champ. Come on. You know you like it. Alright, so it's like I'm slating that one into the picks, boys. Tank Field Juice, Urgot. Good luck tomorrow.
Dude, Account doesn't even play Urgot, and we're gonna put him on Urgot. Don't worry.
Honestly, this champ's so busted. Meanwhile, though, Uncle Jemima looking for Jaundice. Found him in the jungle. He's just gonna give him the old turret max 3000 over here. Jaundice running out, doing the best he can. Symphonian, though, heads up split push pressure in the top side here. That 4-1 coming in clutch again. That's a tier 2. Uncle Jemima trying to back in that bush, but he's on a ward and he's been spotted. So UTD, top of this Elder Drake in desperation. We're going to see the full engage coming out here. Good corridor from Hiramar. Maie going for the flash forward on Fudgy Ditters, and he's going to be right extremely low. Kill going over to Maie. Meanwhile, the re-engage coming out from Dope and Poppy. Wheels and Bus brought extremely low. John just headbutting Hiramar back, and a good wall out from Hiramar to stop them from contesting. Front Lash looking over this wall, but Bomb Breaker straight into a trap, and Mega Inferno Bomb from Guy Fieri not going to secure Elder, and it's going to go over to the side of UTD as 3 members of Don't Ban Poppy taken down in exchange for 1, but Symphonian, he's getting these Nexus turret. He's got 1 Nexus turret, and so that's going to be quite literally, wait, he wants more. Can he get another inhib? Probably not. He's going to escape.
Good job by both teams recognizing their win condition, finally playing towards them. UTD recognizing that they can take these team fights as long as they're in close quarters, and Don't Ban Poppy recognize that they need to do this 4-1 to win this game. But as this game goes later, they're going to have to look for these 5v5s, otherwise
Goodbye, Symphonian. Nice knowing you. But meanwhile, in mid lane, Maie and Hiramar finalizing the kill onto that mid lane inhib. So at least you got that no inhib to inhib trade in favor of UTD in the mid lane right now as their inhibitors finally respawn. But these side lanes here are going to be some rough pressure to deal with indeed.
Yeah, and the fact that Don't Ban Poppy doesn't have a front line really starting to show, as none of their champions have really built significant armor items, with just the Guardian's Angel Bramble Vest coming out and the slight armor that's coming out from Alistair. We'll see how they choose to try to close out this game.
I think they need, honestly, if they can get, like, they need everyone to be on the same ball when they engage, and they can do it. Because if they get a 3 or 4-man pulverize from Jaundice, he's been finding some good pulverizes this game. If they have Symphonian there, and Guy Fieri there to make Inferno Bomb, that's going to be an easy team wipe. But at the same time, you can't overlook the split push pressure that you can give to this team. So I think it really depends on what you have faith in this game. Do you have faith in your team to be able to execute that 4-1 effectively, or do you have faith in Jaundice, who's been good games in terms of heads-up plays this entire series? Do you trust him to find that killer Alistar engage for the close?
Absolutely.
There, Maye jumping forward, and there's going to be a turn, and everyone's alive. Ace and Hole being burned, eating a wind wall.
No, absolutely. Going for that 4-1 play that I mentioned does remove the entire purpose of their pick ban phase, having that Yasuo with 2 knockups.
Meanwhile, though, John just caught on the competition wall. Hard plays massive 4-man knockup. Everyone's engaging. They're going in. UTD doing what they can, kind of back. Great redemption from Wheels on the bus. And Uncle Jemima just turret max 3000 Symphonia down on the bot lane here, flashing on Guy Fieri. It's with a vacuum seal hand twist, Gok 3000. UTD closing that team fight out with a 4-for-1 off the back of some scary Uncle Jemima Urgot play. I gotta give a special commendation to the redemption of that fight from Wheels on the Bus. That was actually, that redemption, like, that fight could have turned both ways, but that redemption single-handedly, like, broke the fight in favor.
Absolutely. And don't ban Poppy not recognize the fact that they just can't win fights in these small corridors due to Caitlyn and Anivia's presence in these fights. And taking 3 or 4 fights back-to-back in these tiny corridors is just going to cost them the ultimate game.
And speaking of costing them the game, well, this quite literally cost them the game. And this will be a GG. UTD trading back. The series is going to be over 1-1 tie between UTD and Don't Ban Poppy. All right, so let's skip all the crap. Let's skip all the rigmarole. MVP vote. Who's it gonna be?
I would have to give it to Hiromar here. That's a tough one. So while Maye did do some ridiculous things in the early game and make some definitely ahead of his team choices, his ability to constantly push whatever advantage he thought he had kept him in the game and honestly kept pushing his team ahead. And obviously Hiromar is exceptionally skilled on his champion, but I don't know if that's MVP material. But
that's very true, and one thing to point out as well, Uncle Jemima on this Urgot doing the most damage in the game besides Guy Fieri's Ziggs, doing the most damage on the side of UTD. And I think this is a very close call, and all members of UTD definitely had some very good moments that game, but ultimately I think I'm actually going to give it to Uncle Jemima on this Urgot pick.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I would give mine to Wheels on the Bus. I think unsung hero over here. Nobody notices the support when they do all these incredible things, but Wheels on the Bus actually turned so many of these fights. He helped save Maya's life as he jumped in so many times. And if you just look at kill participation, he has the most. He's the single-hand reason why these soft front lines worked out in the end.
And Maye, congratulations to Maye with another tier 1 subscription. They've subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 6-month streak, according to him. Second trimester, boys. Well, they always say second trimester is the horny one, and they'd be right, because I'm always horny for more PMA LCS action live here on twitch.tv/PMA LCS, boys. All right. So, do we need a straw poll? You straw poll.
Yeah.
Make a straw poll. All right, I'm lazy. Can you talk?
Yeah, I got you. Special shout out to Jaundice over there on the losing team in Game 2 for making those amazing plays on Alistar. And I really do hope that you give Breath of Life to all supports everywhere, that you can carry from the support role. It doesn't have to be one of the big roles. But definitely a well-played game from both sides.
Yeah, I agree. A very well-played game from both sides. That was a very entertaining series to watch. and
definitely
fast. Well,
closest.
that's the word I'd used.
Yeah. Definitely very close game, too, between two teams. It's been a while since we've seen non-stomp games in the PMA LCS. I'm really glad I was able to cast this with you.
Oh, dude, I've been having such a great time. Glad I was able to cast this with you, too.
If anything, if this game has shown us anything, it's that Urgot is absolutely bonkers on 9.6, and if you're a top laner, better learn that Urgot. Looking at you, Akayu.
Yeah, I got the. Oh, wait, joystick beat me to it. Gosh darn it. I get wrecked. I'm dropping my vote in here. I'm not biased at all. Uncle Jemima.
Oh, for the love
Oh
of God,
my
chat,
God.
don't give it to the Urgot, please.
Wait, we have so many. Wait, this is the most split vote I've ever seen. Uncle Jemima and Wheels on the Bus and Hiramar chilling at 2 votes right now. Freedom Penguin with 1 vote. Poor Maya, dude. Oh, Wheels on the Bus, 3rd vote. Dude, I'm gonna play this straw poll right here. Because you see Wheels on the Bus opening out with a slight advantage here. That's gonna be 3 votes to 2 all around in favor of Wheels on the Bus right now. Could we see another vote? Could we see more? Is this Wheels on the Bus's MVP to win?
Tell you, unsung hero in the support role. Nobody sees it unless you're a support player.
And here he goes, dropping a 4th vote in favor of Wheels on the Bus so far. Wheels on the Bus slowly eking out a commanding lead on this MVP game too, Paul. We'll have to see how this late game transition does here. And that's going to be another vote going the way of Wheels on the Bus here. Holy mother of God. He's just getting bigger and bigger, boys. And look at, okay, we're up to 10 votes now. How many, you got 23 viewers. This is only 10 votes. Come on. You guys can do better than this. Get some more MVP votes in here.
Shout out to Maya for voting himself.
Dude, I vote myself. I won't lie. I'm vain like that. That's why one of the champions in my main row is literally named Vayne.
Nice. Nice.
Aw, awesome. And now we see Wheels on the Bus, though, sitting on this commanding 5-2 to 2 to 1-1 lead, transitioning into this late game. We are now in the waiting stages of this MVP game, too, as a 6 votes drop for Wheels. Anyone could win this, and by that I mean Wheels has almost definitely won this, but we will see in the next coming 15 seconds. I'm going to give chat 15 more seconds to close out their votes on this poll here.
Hey, shout outs to Hiramar, though, for honestly being the backbone for his team both games in a row. Playing at Anivia expertly.
Game.
Yeah, and just showing why he should be banned out on that Anivia.
That's such a great early game 2, actually. That was so clean.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder if that game would even gone so close if Hiramar was forced to play somebody else. Those walls were just on point. Fighting those corridors was just all on point.
And now we are going to lock in the results of this MVP poll. It's going to be Wheels on the Bus taking it with 6 votes to the split tie 2 votes between Uncle Jemima and Hiramar. So congratulations to Wheels on the Bus. You are the Game 2 MVP. Transitioning forth into post-game interviews, could we please have Symphonian and Wheels on the Bus in Player of the Game 1, please. We'll meet you there. That was so in sync. Holy mother of God. I got wrecked. Welcome to chat, guys. Congratulations on a very well played series all around. It was so much fun to watch.
Hey, thank you.
That was fun. GG, by the way.
Yeah, you as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
And congratulations to both of you guys, Symphonian, for your Game 1 MVP performance on Urgot and Wheels on the Bus with your Game 2 MVP performance on Lulu. Good job. So going straight into the questions here, I have none. Legends, you got something?
Yeah, I got a couple openings. So Symphonian, after looking at those 9.6 patch notes on Urgot, how soon did you start working on that Urgot?
The second I read it. If you look at my match history, it's all Urgot. I've just been abusing it in ranked. From the second that patch came out. It's not even fair.
Yeah,
Gross.
It seems a little broken right now, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So much damage. Gross.
Yes, I was
It's
expertly displayed by
insane.
both teams too, with Uncle Jemima taking a game two. And actually, my second question is actually goes to Symphonian too. What made you decide to go Yasuo into Urgot?
Yasuo, I always found in my games that I played, like ranked and whatnot, that Yasuo always just was the only person who could beat an Urgot in like a 1v1. So that's just what I thought to do. So that's what I did. I don't really know. So
Well, it didn't work too poorly in your favor, and
yeah,
maybe that just shows how skillful you are on the champion. So good
thank
job. I applaud you for that. If nobody else has questions, I guess I'll keep going.
you.
Yeah. Yo, chat, got any questions while I'm busy theory crafting questions? God, I'm always the worst at this. I'm always the worst at Q&A, man. I never got questions.
Okay, well, to Hoagie,
Hi.
how did you feel on that Lulu, knowing that you'd probably be picking it and they banned away Nami on you?
No, since I knew that the jungle pick was gonna be left up anyways, I didn't think the Lulu was gonna get banned. I knew that they were gonna ban Nami instead, just because I have a lot better win rate on her, and I just play her more consistently.
Interesting.
So I knew that that was gonna happen, and I was very comfortable with that against an Alistar. I just needed to watch my distance, and I straight up told my team, I want to save my team. That's all I want to do.
Yeah, I definitely think you were the MVP of that game, and I think it's just like a sneak, like you said, it's a sneak pick. Nobody really focuses on you due to your rank on your team, and the fact that you came through with that Lily in the end was so big.
Well, thank you, thank you.
To both teams actually. So, what were your thought processes going to that second game? I guess starting with Symphonian, since you guys won game one, what were your comms like really going to that second game pick ban?
We were mostly focusing on our team fight potential because we kind of didn't do very well at the end of the first game. It was kind of just like a clown fiesta, like people were saying. So we
Yeah.
really wanted to focus on our team fights, but then the Urgot would just zone off the ADC. So then I'd just split push, and I don't know. It worked out until that last fight. So
Okay, that's fair. And to Wheels on the Bus, what were your comms like going into that second pick man phase?
Well, the great thing about our team is that we no matter what, if we lose, we just keep calm and say, okay, flat out, like what did work, what didn't work, and like if you want to keep the same bans or anything like that. And I knew that we wanted to keep the Poppy and the Ezreal. We didn't want the Poppy, obviously. Don't ban Poppy. It's in the name. And Ezreal, because that's just, even with the double tier being removed from the game, it's still quite annoying and pokey. I'm very limited on what I can do against the poke. I can play Nami, but that I knew that they were gonna ban that, so um, I didn't really like the Ezreal either. Um, so was that. In terms of, yeah, that was just to answer your questions. Our calm was basically just keep calm. What worked, what didn't, and we
That's
didn't
good.
want the thrash. We didn't want the thrash. That's the one big change that we made. We
Oh
didn't want the
yeah.
thrash.
Okay, so I finally have a question. This is directed to both of you. So, especially that game two, Maya and Frontlash were following very similar jungle paths, and they showed up like with each other multiple times, like in the same area. They both had very highly efficient paths, and so my question to either of you guys was: were either of them like able to be reading the other person's path, and they were calling that stuff out in comms, or was that just luck of the draw, so the luck of the eye, so to speak?
with that, me and Maya were like good friends in real life, so I knew he was gonna focus top a little bit harder than the other lane. So I told that to Frontlash, and then we worked that through, and it just ended up working out. Where he was always in the right place, right time. So reading him pretty well in game one and pretty decently in game two as well, I'd say. So
I guess for me, I think I knew, like, I had a general idea of where people were. I'm a little bit more of a cautious, hesitant type, so I try to take a little bit safer path. Although I do accidentally face check sometimes. Rip me, sad face. But I generally try to take a safer path so that I don't get picked, and then I'll have somebody else tell me like, "Oh yeah, we're fine. We're safe, or we can go that way now." So I have other people helping me path as well. I listen very well.
Nice. I do have a follow-up question for Symphonian, actually. Going into the second game pick ban phase, was the discussion of banning Hero Mars and Nivea ever on the table?
Oh yeah, we thought about banning it, but Guy Fieri felt comfortable in lane, so we thought we'd just leave it open because it's a good matchup, Ziggs into Anivia, so
I see.
into there, but it just didn't work out in the late game, honestly. So
Yeah, his prowess on the champion seemed to be pretty dominant going into the
yeah,
late game.
definitely.
But yeah, the laning phase was not bad for Guy Fieri. You're right.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty out of questions. That was about all I got. Oh yeah, how did it feel knowing you get the free setup for Yasuo and Vi in that gank every time?
Oh yeah, that was the main goal there with the Yasuo and the Vi. Yeah, so
Gotcha.
All right, so I think that's it from me.
Yep.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So I think we're going to finally close out this post-game interview here, and we are going to finally close out this stream. So thank you, everyone, for tuning into UTD versus Don't Ban Pop on a lovely March 23rd, lovely spring night.
Oh,
And
so lovely.
on behalf of the casting crew, myself, Legends, and our lovely streamer, Joystick, thanks for coming out, everyone. And we will see you guys at a PMA LCS event sooner than you think. Good night.
Nice.